Do you think they're contention for top 4 this season?
Solid defensively, but I think with the attack we've got, I think it's the best in the league. And I think
on the big topic right now, and it always has been for the past couple of years, VAR.
Firstly, we need to talk about Ten Hag.
Yeah. I can see Newcastle going far in the Champions League now.
So
after they whacked up PSG, oh my god!
Yeah.
You know what? They need trophy. I think the trophy means more to them this year than top 4.
I'll do one last bet on camera.
Go on.
I believe come full year, at the end of the season, Liverpool are going to be above Arsenal.
You're chatting shit now. I'm glad we got these receipts.
No.
With the current international break in football right now, I think it's a good time to kind of evaluate how the league has gone so far. Maybe there's been some teams that you wouldn't expect to be in the upper half. Maybe there's been some teams that are overperformed. But you know what? We've got my boy Sing on today. He's a football expert, so we'd like to think.
Cheers for having me, man.
Yeah, safe, man.
Bless.
It's always good.
Yeah.
So how we're going to structure this is we're going to speak about the traditional top 6 and the top 5 currently outstanding, depending if some teams get in or not. Chelsea United. But Sing, start from the top. Let's speak about Spurs, which I begrudgingly hate to have this conversation. It's been a bit of interest in all of these guys. What do you think?
I've got to give Spurs a bit of credit here. I think Ange's come into the league. Obviously, he's had no pressure whatsoever. I think the way he's integrated his tactics, his stuff, everything that's gone on in the summer, the selling of Harry Kane, a new manager in Ange who's come from the Scottish League, come into the Premier League, and he's hit the ground running. I think he's brought his ideas across to the team. You can see it on the pitch, and they seem to be bringing new lease of life to the Premier League, which is nice to see for them. But at the same time, it's still early doors, you know. You know what Spurs are like. There's no pressure at the moment, but let's see what happens when the pressure gets going.
Yeah, but like I said as well, I'm an Arsenal fan, so giving Spurs credit is something hard for me to do, but give it whilst it lasts. I don't think they're going to maintain it. Like we said before as well, they got no Europe, no football.
No Europe. They've got playing once a week. They've got knocked out the League Cup. So yeah, they're literally just playing for the Premier League and FA Cup when it comes about.
Fair play, but you know, Spursy are Spursy. It's written in the blood. But yeah, that's on the top of the league so far, and top of the league joint right now too. And it's good to add the joint part is Arsenal. You know, we started off the season it's been quite shaky, if I'm being honest. If we're comparing it from last season to now, last season, I feel like we were prepared. We started the season flying. But this season, I feel like there's been quite a few changes, few imbalances within the team. But the main thing is we're still getting results. I think that's what speaks. Maybe the football isn't champagne football like it was last year, but we're still grinding out results right now. What are your thoughts? I know you're a Liverpool fan, but what do you think about Arsenal so far?
To be honest, at the start of the season, I thought Arteta was doing too much. I thought he was being a bit of a Pep wannabe, playing party at right back so he inverts. I think even everyone was thinking, why are you doing this? Just stick to your normal back four. You have your inclusions of Partey and Rice and crack on as it is. But I think Arteta was overthinking, but I think now he's gone back to being simple. Has gone back to Gabriel at left centre back. He's brought Ben White back in the team. Obviously, Partey's been injured, which means Rice has come back in CDM, and he just looked a lot more fluid.
It does. It seems like over the past couple of weeks, things are starting to slowly come together. I don't think we're there right now at the point where we're playing champagne football, but I think things are slowly going. But I would say that, I know this is very biased speaking, we are up there to challenge City, to be the guys to dethrone City for a very, very long time. Let's see how that goes. And this is it. Third place is currently Manchester City. So this is the elephant in the room as per usual, because
Mr. Slow Starters, eh?
This is what they like to do, and this is what I hate about City. They give you hope. Yeah, they have a few games off, and people start to think. And I'll speak for myself. Even last year, we were flying. City were looking a bit shaky. Maybe this is our time. But just with a flip of a switch, they go on these stupid runs where they just never lose.
No.
Like, do you think City are still the favourites right now to win the Premier League?
Yeah. So, being a Liverpool fan, this is close to my heart. We've had many run-ins with Man City. So, at the start of the season, you need to get out of the race. What detracts, and you've got to go flying. You've got to have that 100%, like you had last season.
Yeah.
You've got to win majority of the games. I think back in the day, a draw is a great result at places, but these days a draw feels like a loss, and you can see it from last year.
100%.
But I think it's huge that Rodri was missing, and you saw how fragile Man City looked. They've lost their 3 games without him, and then when he came back for the Champions League, they looked secure again. But like I said, Arsenal won against Man City, and I think that's massive because you haven't beaten them since 2015,
Yes,
and you've got to beat your rivals. So I don't know, it's up in the air, I think, at the moment, but we shall see. It's still early.
That's the thing. It's still early, but obviously we're going off what we've seen so far. I mean, what we've noticed, and I think a lot of people started to give Rodri way more credit now than they did last year, is because when you see him out of the team, you see the difference. Last year, we didn't really see that. I mean, he scored a Champions League final goal. He's the key within their team.
No, but I think everyone does know that he is the best defensive midfielder in the world. I think everyone knew. I think even last year, there was that whole debate. Rodri, Partey, Casemiro. Yeah, Rodri was clear even before. I think the biggest discussion was Casemiro and Partey, but I think also when you're seeing Man City, you're seeing the lack of service to Haaland. And obviously De Bruyne is out, which we do know he is injury prone. But obviously...
He's 32 as well. He's getting up there.
Yeah, but you can. I feel Haaland is a great finisher. Don't get me wrong. He's a great player, a great striker, great finish. But I think he needs to add more to his game. I think.
What do you think? Do you think he should kind of play that number 9 position where he kind of tracks back as well? Or do you think he should be like around
Not
the
even
box?
track back. Even like when I watched the Arsenal game, Saliba bullied him.
Oh,
and
Saliba,
last year, Haaland had Saliba on ropes. But this year, he looked a shadow of himself. I don't know if it's good lack of confidence or what it is.
I think it's, you know what? I think a big part of it is lack of delivery as well. I mean, who's playing that middle? Was it like Rico Lewis? Was he playing?
Well,
was he
it's
playing
Rico
CDM
Lewis and Kovacic. Kovacic is not.
Oh.
Yeah. We'll talk about VAR later on, but behind Alvarez has been amazing for City. He's been a breath of fresh air for them. He's been banging the goals in for City.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like right now, okay, you can't really judge City because we've seen from history that they will come back. So let's go to 4th place.
The Mighty Reds. The Mighty Reds.
It's been a big change
It's
for
a
you
big
guys.
change this summer.
Yeah.
It's a big change. So I think for me, it's been quite a surprise considering how bad we fell off last year. We knew we needed a whole midfield revamp. I think we needed some defensive reinforcements too. However, we've only gone for midfield this season. But it's funny enough, it's worked out very well. I think the recruitment we've done has been second to none.
You've
McAllister,
replaced your whole midfield, haven't
the
you?
whole midfield's gone, and we've changed it up massively. Szoboszlai has been a wow. To be honest, haven't seen him play before, but my God, what a player for 60 million! I think it's a snip in this market. And then you've got McAllister, we bought him for 35 million, World Cup winner, which is a joke. And then you've got Gravenberch and Endo. Endo, it's up in the air. No one knows too much about him, but we need bodies. We need bodies at this moment.
You know what, Gravenberch, to me, is a bit of a mystery right now. How do you think? Because he does seem like there's a player within him.
Yeah.
How's he gone so far? Like, how do you think?
I think so. He's been starting the Europa League games, and he's come on. He's been the best player on the pitch. He glides with the ball. He's just strong. He's so tall. He just looks. It's the best player on the park. When I look at him, he reminds me of Abu Diaby. That's who I rank. Right. When I look at him, the way he just runs with the ball, glides with it, it just gives me Diaby vibes.
Okay.
It's big because we know Diaby was a good player, but
but let's put it this way: right now, from the start of the season to now, do you feel like you're currently on track of the improvements you should be making, or do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, like, we'll speak about certain games and chat about VAR later because there's a big game that we can talk about.
Yeah.
But how do you think you are going compared to like expectations at the beginning of the season?
Well, I'm thinking we're going back to the 2017-18 vibes. Where
are you now?
I feel like we have to outscore our opponents. I think, don't get me wrong, I think we're still solid defensively, but I think with the attack we've got, I think it's the best in the league. And I think we seem to be going 1-0 down every single game, which seems to be a mistake from our end. It's always we're playing silly, stupid balls at the back, which has cost us goals. But I think with the attack we've got a Salah, Diaz, Nunes, Gakpo, Jota. I think nothing comes close to that in the league.
I think you got a reserve of like class.
But you have the front three, and then you've got the two options to come off the bench when everyone's tired. Yeah, man. Yeah. It's good, man.
That's that. So we're going down to the 5th position. Aston Villa. I mean, Unai Emery, you know what? I think
props to him, man.
He's a very, very good manager. You see the change when he stepped in last season, how they ended up this season. Unai Emery, he's no joke, man. He's a class manager. He's kind of got Villa back up the league now.
Mm.
Got some good signings coming up as well. What do you think about Villa so far?
I always thought Unai Emery he was a bit disrespected at Arsenal. I think purely because you're replacing the great, obviously, with Arsene Wenger, right? So it's even like with Fergie left and they brought Moyes in. I think whoever comes in after is always going to have a tough job anyway. But what Emery did at Arsenal, he got them to Europa League final, which I don't think you've done in ages.
No.
But Emery coming at Aston Villa, obviously after Gerrard was there, yeah, it's been a breath of fresh air for them as well. He's got them playing amazing. The signings they brought in have been, wow. I've hit the ground running, haven't they? Diaby,
that was a big signing. Diaby's solid. We were after him as well.
Diego Carlos, mate, their team is stacked, and obviously Ollie Watkins to start to bag the goals. Mate, yeah, their team is actually.
Do you
ridiculous.
think they're contention for top 4 this season?
I think it might be a bit too soon. I think they'll push top 5.
Yeah.
I think Brighton will be pushing for that top 5 spot. I just think there are teams elsewhere that have got more firepower, and I think they can go better like squad depth.
Yeah.
So I'd say top 5 they could push, but that'd be a great season for even top 7.
You see that's the current top 5 of the leagues, but we have some notable teams that we want to mention. Let's actually first of all start off with Brighton, because Brighton, their business and their scouting is ridiculous. I mean, over the past couple of years, the signings they made from Casado, even Ben White, that they are a well-run football club, and you know what, Brighton, you got to put respect on the name. When you play Brighton, you know it's a serious game.
I think props to their recruitment, because the way they keep recruiting players is obviously replacing. At first it was Basuma, then to Caicedo, and now they've got this another guy which is he played really well against Liverpool. He ran the midfield as well. But yeah, man,
I think they might be there for the top 4.
I don't know, because Brighton are a sticky one, because they always get battered as well in the way, because Villa beat them 6-1 as well. So they have that in them, but also they beat Newcastle. Evan Ferguson, they whacked. Evan Ferguson smashed.
Evan Ferguson, what a player he is.
He has a talent. He's going to go big money next year, man.
See, he will be 100. You know what? I reckon with this inflated market, he'll go over 100. But you know what? I think it's we have to mention Brighton, because they are disrupting the traditional top 6. You know. But now let's get onto the juicy ones. Who should we start off?
Let's do Man U first.
Manchester United.
Manchester United.
Uncomfortable
conversations.
Trust me, it's been a delight to watch for me, and I'm sure for you as well.
Oh, I love it.
But bloody hell, United! What is going on there?
I think firstly we need to talk about Ten Hag. I think what he's had to deal with in the job is in a high pressure situation. Obviously, the Ronaldo situation, he's had to deal with getting him out of the club. He's got to deal with the whole Jadon Sancho case. And he's got to deal with Anthony now. It's just, I think, for him, it's been a hard job. But at the same time, he's been there a year and a half. A year. Now. But when I watch Man United, I do not know their style of play.
That's it.
I have no idea what their style of play is, and I've seen Ange Ball for 2 months. And I know exactly what they're doing. Ten Hag has been at this job. He's had 3 transfer windows. And don't get me wrong, he hasn't been backed, etc. But he's had Anthony go for 90 million.
I'll take that. I'll take that back. Do you know when you said he hasn't been backed? Come on, let's look at the transfer spending over the past 2 to 3
When I mean backed,
windows.
I mean he hasn't got his number 1 targets. Obviously, they've got better alternatives, because obviously before Casemiro, they wanted Frankie de Jong and all this. But he has been backed.
Like from the beginning of the season to where they are now. You know what? I remember I listened to a few podcasts saying United might be there challenging for the title, definitely for the top 4 contention. I think Ten Hag uses them under big pressure right now. I mean, the team's not performing. The only bright light I see out of United is that Højlund. He's a good player, but they've got some massive problems internally. I mean, what do you think about the whole Jadon Sancho situation?
I mean, I don't know too much behind the scenes what's going on. Obviously, we've heard he's not training well, which it's not the first time. It's happened at England as well. England's at Dortmund. So there has to be something in this where Jadon Sancho is not performing where they want to expect of him. But more than ever, they need him. They have no with Anthony out.
Anthony's back now.
Well,
but
he's back now, but
but you know what? Long may this continue. Like I'm loving this from United. I mean, given all the big chat they've been giving for the past couple of seasons, let's look at that. But
we need to talk about one person though.
Who's that?
Mr.
Oh my days! What the
Nah,
the
man.
most overhyped.
This guy from last year, everyone's calling him world class.
Rashford.
Where is he hiding now?
Marcus Rashford.
Marcus Rashford. This will probably come back to bite us, but
No, we're judging it on
right now.
what
Yeah,
we've seen right now. Like you said, it might come as a backlash. Last season, he went through a phase where he was looking incredible.
After the World Cup, he was incredible.
But it was just a little. It wasn't consistent.
It was a purple patch.
It was a purple patch. This season,
he's gone missing. Him and Captain Fantastic Bruno. Bro, these guys, yeah. But with Man United, they've got so many individuals which have...
It's individuals, it's not a team.
No,
that's the way I kind of look at it. It's not really...
They've screwed over the managers before, Jose, Van Gaal. These are the same players, Bruno, Luke Shaws. They've got a weak mentality, man, and that's why they keep getting hammered.
That's it. But moving on to another team, the £1 billion. The
big dogs.
The big dogs. The Todd Bowley special, the £1 billion club. We're talking about Chelsea FC. You know what, yeah? This might come to bite us. Yeah, later.
Yeah.
Currently speaking, I thought from the starting of the season, Chelsea will be there. Like, they're a dangerous team. I think they've got a bunch of players, but I think if they gel with the right manager, Poch, I think he's an amazing manager.
Yeah.
He's been for the likes of PSG, where he's seen these egos. They've seen these world class players. Yeah. If he gets Chelsea to a point where they gel, boy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But right now, what do you think of Chelsea?
They spent 1 billion in one summer.
1 summer.
1 billion, and this is how they are.
It's crazy.
Yeah, man, it's a long day for them. But you know what? You are right. I think looking long. Their plan is looking long term. The youngsters they brought in are literally.
Well, they got the potential to
be world class. Yeah, of
potential,
course.
But
you've got the likes of Enzo, Caicedo.
That just starting with them two, Enzo and Caicedo, bro, 200 mil, that's ridiculous. I mean,
they can thank us for that. Actually, Liverpool bid it up to 110.
Yeah, you lot got mugs.
Yeah, even Lavia as well, man.
Lavia too injured. I mean, they have been having a few injuries, but you know what? What do you reckon from now? Because I feel like they're hitting a patch where they're starting to get back form now. But with this international break, what do you think?
I think with Chelsea, I think they'll miss. I think they'll. It's true. I think top 8.
Top 8, yeah.
I think because I feel they cleared out all their leaders. Their experienced players. Obviously, Azpilicueta went this summer. Kovacic, Jorginho, all these guys left. They're like winners as well. And now they're literally their senior players are obviously Thiago Silva is still there, but he's not really starting anymore. Enzo's looking like your leader. Conor Gallagher's the captain. That says it all, really, right?
Yeah, sure it does.
But yeah, Raheem Sterling. I don't know. For me, it's there's not enough attacking threat there, and they've had big chances and they've just scuffed them.
This is what you said, and I think this would be quite unanimous to say a top 8 finish from where Chelsea are right now. I mean, it's not great, but they should be going for the title regardless. Anyone who spends £1 billion in one transfer window, bro, there's no excuses. No
excuses, man.
Yeah, there's no excuses. But let's see how that goes.
But then I say top 8. But then we list off the teams.
Yeah,
and we haven't even talked about Newcastle.
Exactly.
Bro, there's so many teams that are.
It's all open. I think. Do you know what? From top 4, I wouldn't say it's kind of secure, but 5th from 10th, like it could go either way at this rate.
I feel like this is the league at the moment because
love it.
I feel like we've got a strong top 10, maybe 11, 12. The rest of them are all battling for relegation.
Shout out to Luton, yeah.
Luton Town, big up. You know what? That's the best story I've heard. Being a Lutonian myself, I think. Going from non-league to Premier League in 10 years, man, that's a fairy tale in itself. Big up to Luton.
Big win from them against Everton as well.
It was massive. No one saw that. No one even thought Luton were going to get a win this year, let alone Everton away. Not even at home, away at Everton, which is a traditional Premier League team. But yeah.
Big shout out to Luton. But you know what? One more team that we want to touch on, and you mentioned it, Newcastle. Right? It's a funny bunch there because I can see Newcastle going far in the Champions League,
So
after they whacked up PSG, oh my God. Yeah. You know what? They need trophy. I think a trophy means more to them this year than top 4. What do you think?
For me, I feel Newcastle are very similar to Liverpool in European competitions because they've got the heritage. St James's Park would be rocking at European nights. You saw against PSG.
That looked crazy.
Bro, it's very intimidating, I can imagine, for an away team just to go there. You saw how PSG froze and they got slapped, 4-1?
4-1.
Bro, that's not normal. Even, I feel obviously the reverse fixture, when that comes around, I think PSG probably will do Newcastle. But the idea of going to St James's Park, having that atmosphere behind you, is going to galvanise them. I think they will go far in that competition.
But I think let's keep it. And the Champions League is a good point to start on of Newcastle. How do you think they're doing so far in the Premier League?
Premier League, yeah,
it's been a bit shaky. These guys,
yeah.
They're not really been to the level that we thought they'd be to.
Yeah, it's an inconsistency again, isn't
That's
it?
it,
Brighton slapped them up, and then they go win 8-0 against
That's
Sheffield
what I'm
United.
saying.
It's
inconsistent.
This league is a bit. I don't know what you can say about but Newcastle. I think they look good. I think their midfield looks good. I like Tonali. Obviously, it's coming with Joel Linton and Bruno Guimaraes. I like that midfield.
Eddie Howe's doing a great job. I mean, I think he's doing a really good job for what he's.
Big up to Eddie Howe, because I don't think enough people give him credit. I thought, like, ever since they got taken over, people were like, he'll be gone soon. He feels to me, everyone thought he was like the Mark Hughes of the Man City era.
Yeah, sure.
And then a new one was going to come, like a Pellegrini or Mancini will come in and just take over. But
I'll tell you what, so like, it's not all about the money, because you see Chelsea having all the funds possible, they can't make it. But obviously, I think Newcastle are a funny situation. They only can spend a certain amount due to financial fair play. But still, he's done an amazing job from where they were before to now. Like, deep it was it last season before that they were going to get relegated. Like, to now, but
prior to their takeover, they were they're looking to get relegated.
I know.
They've changed it. But the thing is, in Newcastle, they've brought big players in, obviously Tonali, Bruno, etc. But they're still bringing in, like,
it's not world
Dan
class.
Burn and stuff like this.
You know what? But that's where we give Eddie Howe more credit.
Man, yeah.
I mean, they're not even world class.
No.
Like they're not even. Some of these players are not even fringe. I think the chemistry that they have is starting to flow, and I can see them going far in the Champions League. But you know what? Let's switch it up a bit. That's just more of our top 5 and sort of notable mentions on teams that we should look out for. Let's talk about the state of football, and a big topic right now, and it always has been for the past couple of years. VAR.
Don't get me started, man.
VAR.
Don't get me started on these lot, man.
Yo,
yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I've been hearing a lot where people have started to say, scrap VAR. I don't think VAR is a problem.
No,
I think the people that operate in it
Yeah.
are the problem.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I want to hear your opinion on it first. Because obviously I know what I want to say about VAR, but what do you want to say? Like, overall,
I think
how do you think it's going?
The concept is perfect. I think that's what helps the sport. It's just fair. You see, the Champions League works in Champions League, but they have semi-automated.
Yeah.
Right? I think the people behind VAR right now, what is going on, man? Like, it's so inconsistent. There's so many cases that I can say. I mean, I know you've got a big one, being a Liverpool fan, but I think the system's there. How can these VAR staff members make such silly mistakes all the time? Is there not one frame, one rule to follow? I feel like every game
there's a new rule. It's so inconsistent.
What's the deal? Like, it's gonna, you know what? And one of these days, one of these mistakes is gonna cost the team to get relegated, or even cost the team to get in the top 4. And what do we get at the end?
I'm sorry, no, but these mistakes, Liverpool lost the title twice by 1 point.
Yeah.
Liverpool go 1-0 up against Spurs. There's a different story. Liverpool could have won that game. They could have lost it regardless. It doesn't matter. But the opportunity for Liverpool to go 1-0 up was there. We were down to 10 men. Yeah, whatever. But then to not even give that goal. So we're talking about Liverpool Spurs here. To go not give that goal, and then 2 minutes later Spurs to go and score 1-0 up.
That's
yeah,
big.
man.
That's big.
Football was what can I say?
Even let's talk about like certain cases, because I know you're speaking about Liverpool and Spurs. Let's just talk about like a few cases where you say, well, this is ridiculous. So I'd start with the red card of who got sent off against Liverpool. Not Harvey Elliott. Who was the second person who got sent off?
Curtis Jones.
Was it Curtis Jones?
What, in the Spurs game?
Yeah.
So it's Curtis Jones got first red card and Diogo Jota.
So Jota, the first challenge, the first yellow you got, you didn't even touch him.
No.
Right? So even that, isn't that what VAR is in place? These guys should be controlling that situation.
I think with VAR, they say they can't overturn any like 2 yellow cards, per se. So a yellow card there is fine. But to be honest, for those sort of decisions, for me, I want to say it's not a red card. They're both yellows, but the second one's stupid from Jota, in my opinion. He knows he's on a yellow card. Don't dive in after that, because you're giving the referee a choice to send you off. Curtis Jones one, I'm not really gonna. Playing football, it's hard because your ball's rolled over the ball onto the guy's foot, and I think what's funny to see is when the referee goes over to the VAR screen, they show him that still image of him contact right onto the ankle. when clearly there's not even force in the actual tackle or anything. So
once again, it goes back. VAR is not the problem. It's
the people in
that
charge
are running in VAR.
Bro, we can start on obviously what was it, Mike Dean, who was on Soccer Saturday.
Yeah,
he was on about what was it, Chelsea Spurs game, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't want to send over Anthony Taylor to the VAR screen because he's my mate." He was having a tough game, and I'm thinking,
bro, they get protected
this is
so much with
man.
no, like there's been just apologies.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can say to them. It's ridiculous. Like I'll use an example: Arsenal versus City. Kovacic, come on, man. There was
clear red card.
Red card. Yeah, but the first challenge that could have been a straight red.
But
second challenge, right? Like you see stuff like this, it's inconsistent, man.
Yeah.
I don't care if you want to see the game flow more often. You got to play by the rules, and it's just ridiculous.
But I don't sound you. For me, how they haven't even told him to go have a look at the screen. They just given him a yellow card and play on. That's it.
There you go.
No,
I think VAR is there, but I think what the Champions League does is they have semi-automated VAR like tracking, right?
So apparently at the start of this season, the Premier League teams voted against it.
Oh, did they?
So they voted against, but now they're in favour of it. So
right.
I think it's going to be in place from next season.
But no, it's only 8 games that have gone so far, and there's so many VAR conversations still ongoing. I mean, it's never going to be perfect.
Yeah. That's I think it's ruining the emotion of the game, because even now I don't really celebrate goals.
I exactly
because you score, but you think, oh, someone might be offside, someone might have touched it. Like I feel there's always you can't over celebrate because you know something might happen, and I don't know. I think it's killing the game to.
I mean, so like I know we're talking about a lot of negatives about VAR, but there are positives there too. You know, I think it has changed the game.
Yeah.
Not to the point where I feel like it's ruining the game. It's not VAR; it's the people.
Yeah,
that are running.
People running. Obviously the technology is needed, because referees don't every time see the clear goal. Obviously, offside goals and all that stuff. You do need. They are obviously there, and they do help the game as well, because goals are given as well, and they do give them offside, and when it's actually clearly offside. But yeah,
we'll see though. But it's been a lot that's gone on in the first 8 games. You know what we'll do? We'll make a review of the same topics we talk about now in a future time. But I think it's good to kind of touch on how things are going right now. And that's interesting. Sing, you better back your words. We've got receipts now, so you can't run away now.
Should we bet on Arsenal Liverpool games?
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
That's what you say. So let's bet. Okay, so I think.
Okay, let's do this. Yeah. All right. So when we have the same conversation again on Christmas time.
Yeah.
How do you think the top 4 standings will currently be?
Top 4 stand. Ooh. I think Man City will be top.
Yeah.
Man City will be top. I'm backing Liverpool to be second.
Ooh.
Arsenal third. Spurs fourth.
No way.
I think Spurs will diminish if they get injury to Maddison or Son.
Yeah.
Even the defence looks good, but yeah, I think an injury to one of them two is key, because even against Luton, they found it hard to break them down. But yeah, I think that'll be the 4th.
Interesting. I reckon I agree. City be on top. Arsenal second. Liverpool third. And let's say Spurs fourth. But like I said, things can change in an instant. Let's see how things go.
Yeah.
Let's sing. Thanks for coming on. You know what? I think it's good to get this in.
I'll do one last bet on camera.
Go on.
I believe come the full year, at the end of the season, Liverpool are going to be above Arsenal.
You're chatting shit now. I'm glad we got these receipts.
No,
guys.
Do you want to make a bet on it? We can make a bet on it live now.
We'll make a bet on it. Yeah, we'll do £100. We'll do a bill. Yeah. Easy, light work. We've got the sun as well now, so we've got the receipts. But yeah, safe for coming on. We'll sort something out soon.
Pleasure.
Safe, yeah.